Yo, yo. What's poppin'? What's going on, y'all? Let's talk some hoops. Where my people at? Yeah, man. Tied series, man. Tied series. Wait for a few more folks to get in here before we start. Yo, if you want to hear roll call, what's poppin'? Let's talk about it. Justin Bell, what's good, bro? We will play better at home. You damn right, man. It was always gonna be tough getting just going 2-0 on the road, especially without Steph. That was always gonna be a tall task. This game was always gonna be it was gonna be tough to get. So I'm not necessarily surprised that they lost. I expected the Timberwolves to come out desperate and just probably embarrassed off their game one performance. So they definitely wanted to come and get some payback. Yo, Justin, how's my mic, bro? Give me a mic check and give me an audio check. Let me know what's good, bro. Make sure everything's good before we get into it. But yeah, I wasn't expecting a win tonight. I was hopeful, obviously. I would have loved to see them get the dub, but it was always going to be a tough task. And as Steve Kerr said, they wasn't necessarily pushing for it unless it was within reach down the stretch. We'll get a little more into that a little later in the show. Misha Stanley, what's good, bro? Evo Sniper, what's up, man? I appreciate y'all for pulling up on me. Finally, early for a live. Oh, I thought you meant me. I was like, not quite, but yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, I'll try to give a little bit more of an announcement when I go live, just to give people a little more time to see what's going on. But yeah, so let's get into it, man. About 3 minutes in, let's get into it. So the Warriors starters were Pods, Buddy, Jimmy, Draymond, and Post. Pretty sound decision making behind that. I can see why Steve wanted to go with a little more size up front, while also providing some spacing without. Now that you lost Steph, they wanted to get another shooter in the lineup while not sacrificing more size. So, what do you think about Moody? We'll get into that in a little bit, but I see you, Patterson. I appreciate you for the question. So they wanted to add a little size while also adding some 3-point shooting. So I get the idea behind starting Quinn Post. The initial start of the game didn't go well. The Warriors started the game off down 13-0. 13-0, man. So the T-Wolves came out on top of their game. Golden State didn't score their first minutes of the game until like 5 minutes in. So it took them 5 minutes to get their first bucket, which is abysmal. Two turn Cam. I'm depressed with this team. We not making, bro. Yeah, bro. It's I mean, obviously this team, the roster is built around Steph Curry. So when you don't have Steph Curry, the team ain't doesn't look complete. And now you're playing against a team that's pretty good. Like the T-Wolves are a good team. They're in the semifinals for a reason. They smoked the Lakers for a reason. They're a good team. I know in game one they were off and we did what we had to do and we we caught them lacking, but adjustments were always going to come. The T-Wolves, after they got embarrassed in game one, they were always going to come back with some adjustments. Like, no team is going to go down 0-2 at home like without putting up a fight. So this game was always going to be harder. And then plus one of the advantages was they didn't have time to prepare for the team without Steph in game one. When Steph went down, obviously the majority of their game plan is probably built around Steph. So when Steph goes out, they're not really like dialed in on other guys in terms of like the scouting report, what other things to take away, the type of play style we're more than likely going to play like. So they were kind of like caught with their pants down, and then they didn't have enough time in game to adjust to our team basically running an entirely different offense without Steph. So now after that loss, and they come to this game, they got an off day. They got their coaches putting together a game plan. They're watching film on how we play without Steph. They got more, and plus more sense of urgency. All that combined, and then plus they didn't start the game 0 for 15 from 3. Like they did in game one. So all those aspects combined into a better game plan and a tougher task for the Warriors to overcome to steal game two. So it was always a tough task, but it's 1-1, and they're going back to the Bay for 2. So as long as the Warriors split, obviously you want them to win both home games, but as long as they split, and it's 2-2 going into game 5. Steph, to be honest with you, Steph's going to be reevaluated after game 4, it sounds like. I don't think he's going to be ready in time for game 5. I think if I had to put my money down, Steph's coming back in game 6 only obviously if they're not eliminated. Like, if they're still alive, I think Steph comes back for game 6. But the Warriors, they're going to have to win at least one of these next 2 home games, at least. If they get both, obviously that's best case scenario. But they obviously have a lot of talent. They're at a talent deficit now without Steph. The T-Wolves are obviously the more talented team now. And on top of that, Jimmy Butler's still battling that injury. He's still not himself. So you don't got your best player that the roster's built around, and your second best player, your co-star, isn't 100%. So it's tough, man. It's going to be tough. It's just because we're at home isn't like a magical pill that's just like, all right, everything's all good. Let's just pencil them in for 2 home wins. It's not going to play out like that. It's going to be way harder and easier said than done. So we'll see how it goes, but obviously role players should play way better at home. Guys like Moody, Pods, guys like that should be hitting shots at home. They should feel more comfortable. So we'll see how that goes. What's going on, y'all? Keys, what's up, bro? Yeah, man. So somebody asked about Moody. So yeah, Moody has been tough. Like, Moody has not been good for a while now. It's honestly sad and just very unfortunate that he chose right now to regress. Like, right now. We don't have Steph. We need guys to step up, and he's in a crazy bad slump. Terrible timing. His shots are like not even close. Like, his misses are not even close. All his shots are just bricks, or they're just hitting backboard, air balls. That has to be some type of something going on mentally, man. I don't know if he's shook. I don't know if he's just overthinking things. I don't know why the explanation is to why he's so off from 3. Not just from 3. Like, his decision making's off. He's not as sharp. He's not as keen offensively. He's making bad judgment calls. Defensively, he's nowhere near as good as he was in the regular season. Like, on defense, he's just not locked in. So I don't know what's going on with Moody, but as of right now, as of this moment, he looks unplayable. Like, Pat Spencer is the better option right now. A G League player, Pat Spencer, is a better option than Moses Moody, who's a 4th-year lottery pick in a playoff series. That's very disappointing. Honestly, that's very disappointing. Like, the Warriors had 3 straight lottery picks in 2020 and 2021. James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga, and Moses Moody. James Wiseman's not on the team anymore, and he's probably out of the league. Kuminga, up to this point, has been catching DMPs, and Moses Moody just disappeared. It's all bad, man. In Moody's last 3 games, check this out. In Moody's last 3 games, he has 3 points total. And he's a combined 0 for 14 from the field. 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks. That's his last 3 games combined. 0 for 14 from the field, no steals, no blocks, no assists, 3 points. And he's not playing good defense. And he's not making good decisions. It's all bad, bro. It's all bad, man. So, yeah, if Moody's going to keep playing like this, I mean, shoot, Pat Spencer's ready for the moment. Pat Spencer's ready. So, if Moody don't want to hoop, next man up, Pat Spence. Let's get it. Let's talk about Kuminga. So, Kuminga had a good game. Really good game, actually. He started the game 8 for 8 from the field. Very, very pleased with Kuminga's production. He played great defense on Ant. He's probably our best point of attack defender on Ant. Just solid game all around. I forgot to mention Kuminga in my series preview with the Timberwolves as a point of attack option on Ant. I don't know why it didn't cross my mind. Honestly, it's just Kerr has been playing him, so I'm just like, okay, well, if he's not going to be a part of the scripted rotation, then I don't know. It just slipped my mind. But Kuminga obviously has the body type. He has the frame. He has the size. He has the length. He has the athleticism to match up with Anthony Edwards on paper. It all comes down to, is he locked in? Is he disciplined? And is he putting forth that effort? And these first 2 games he's been a good matchup. It hasn't been easy for Ant when Kuminga's a matchup. He can't just plow right through him. He can't just shoot over him. Kuminga is actually bigger than Ant. Like, Ant is more stockier, but Kuminga has at least 2 or 3 inches on him. So it's a good matchup. So I'm very pleased with Kuminga. It was much needed. The Warriors desperately needed it. I believe Kuminga was the leading scorer at halftime with 10 points. Like I said, he started the game 8 for 8 from the field, which is just amazing. Shout out to Kuminga, man. He should be getting more minutes. Like, this is only reinforces the fact that you got to keep riding Kuminga. You got to keep building his confidence, and you need him. With Steph out, you need, like, Kuminga's. With no Steph, Kuminga's probably your second most talented offensive player on the roster behind Jimmy Butler. You can't afford to not play him. You're just not gonna score enough versus the Timberwolves to survive a series without Steph. If your second most talented offensive player is getting inconsistent minutes, you just can't do it. So Kuminga, Steve Kerr actually ended up starting Kuminga in the second half for Quinton Post. It was a good call. They made a little bit of a run. They cut the lead. I think the closest they got in the second half was 7 points, I believe. So they cut into it. Ultimately, obviously, it wasn't enough. Draymond Green. This dude, Draymond Green is hilarious. Dude's comedy. I just don't understand how a grown man just has zero control of his limbs when he's like, it's crazy. Draymond's good for at least 1 per game, 1 technical foul a game, or every other game. From him just trying to flop and just either throw his legs or throw his arms and insinuate Draymond, you're terrible at flopping, bro. Just give it up. The jig is up, bro. It's done. It's a wrap. It's curtains, bro. Just stop flopping. Stop with the flailing the arms. Stop flailing your legs. You've been doing this for over a decade. You're doing more harm than good. Like, even if you sell the call, like the trade-off of the possibility of you with your stupid follow-throughs and hitting somebody in the head, it's always the head or the balls. It's one or the other with Draymond. So it's just hard for him to kind of play it off like he didn't mean it when every time you flop and flow your limbs, you're either hitting somebody in the head or the nuts, bro. Like, it's absolutely insane, man. It's crazy. I just don't get it. So he gets a tech. his fifth tech of the playoffs. 7 technical fouls, so you're suspended. So if the Warriors survive this series or if this series goes long, I can pretty much guarantee you Draymond's getting suspended at some point in the playoffs. I guarantee it. I don't trust him to control himself. He's only allowed 2 more technical fouls before he's suspended. He's definitely picking those up. You saw after he got this tech, it took basically the entire team to calm him down. Like he was ready to crash out and completely abandon. He didn't want to hoop. We already know that the script with Draymond when Steph ain't playing and things are going south, Draymond he ain't trying to hoop, bro. He trying to check out too. That's usually how it goes. The only difference is now we got Jimmy, so there's more hope. So he's not as willing to just check out and just crash out because, hey, we still got Jimmy. There's a chance. But this game, it looked like he was ready to crash out and get that second tee. He was arguing. He refused to let it go. And it's like, it's plain as day on a replay. Even if you didn't mean to do it, you still hit the dude in the head. That's a tech or a flagrant. Come on, man. Like, what are you doing? You see, like, Jimmy had to, like, grab his jersey and pull him in because he's ready to crash out. Steph, Kerr, everybody's trying to calm this dude. It's like, bro, you're a grown man. You have that little control over your emotions. You have that little emotional intelligence to realize the situation you're in. You're up 1-0, but you don't got Steph, which means the margin for error is nothing. And Draymond even said on his podcast episode, after Steph went down, he said when you don't have Steph, your margin for error is basically nothing. He himself has admitted that. He understands that. So then once the game is on and you're in the moment and a situation arises and you get a tee and you're crashing out, you knowing there's no margin for error, you're just gonna test that limit. You're gonna test those waters and just see how far you can take it and just dare the refs to not call a tee. That's basically what he's doing. Because what he did, how monstrous he was and boisterous and all that, that's worthy of a tee, worthy of a second tee. Refs usually don't call it, but when you keep going and you don't calm down and you're going, you're basically daring the refs to kick you out and give you that second tee. He's basically saying, I bet you won't throw me out, so I'm going to get my stuff off and I dare you to call it. Luckily, they didn't call it, but it's just like, bro, why? Why do you have to take it to that level? Why does it take half the team to get you to walk away and calm down? You're a grown man. You're 35 years old, bro. 35 years old, man. Just zero sense of awareness. Just, it's crazy to me, dude. It's crazy to me, man. Like the crash out stuff, when he gets the first tee and he just dares the ref to call a second one, bro, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Like your team needs you. Like you do realize if you get kicked out, like the moment you get kicked out, the game's over. The game's over. You got Jimmy and the boys out there by himself. You're already down. There's no Steph. You're on the road. The game's over. So why even get close to that line? Why even try to dab anywhere near the line and try to push and see what you can get away with? What do you accomplish from getting your extra little words off to the refs? What does that do for you? Does that just make you feel better emotionally? So you just have to do it at the cost of your team? It makes no sense. Anyways, that's my Draymond rant. That had me hot, man. I'm just like, bro, this dude Draymond is crazy, bro. It is what it is, man. What's good, y'all? I see some more folks in here. What's up, Ronnie? What's up, Ann Givens? Appreciate y'all. PSS champion, I see you. Ghost, I see you. Christian, I see you. Two Turn Cam, I see you, bro. I appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, man. So we got some other. Oh yeah, by the way, I want y'all to put in the chat. Should the Warriors start Kuminga going forward so he can be the main point of attack on Anthony Edwards? Because if you start Kuminga, so you got Draymond at center, you got Kuminga, you got Jimmy at the 4, Kuminga at the 3, or Jimmy and Kuminga interchangeable, whatever. Then you got Buddy, and then you just go with pods. Like, yeah, the spacing's not great. You got the Kuminga, Jimmy, Draymond front court. There's no spacing. But you get Kuminga as a point of attack on Ant. Hopefully, You ride the home crowd, get the defense amped up, force some turnovers, hopefully get Kuminga out on the fast break, get the horses running, and just make it a rock fight. Make it a rock fight at home. Ride the home crowd. Don't let Ant get comfortable. Don't let Ant get comfortable. That's the main thing. We don't need Ant to get comfortable, bro. So Ant hasn't had a great series so far. He's had his moments where he scored in like bursts, but he hasn't consistently just looked like a monster that we couldn't deal with. He looks very containable. Don't forget the Warriors have had the best defense since the All-Star break. And Steve Kerr, in one of his pressers, he says we believe we have the best defense in the league right now. And we've proven that. Those were his words. So the stats back it up. That's what the team thinks, the coaching staff thinks, and that's what I think. They got the best defense in the league. So ride that wave, ride that home crowd, make it a rock fight, start Kuminga, have him on Ant. Just don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball over. Play, just defend your butts off. Don't turn the ball over. Ride the home crowd. Slow the game down, make it a rock fight. Let's see what they could do. They gotta at least get a split at home now. We got the homie from the UK. Yo, Philip, that's love, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Yo, what time is it over there? That's what's up, man. I appreciate you, bro. My boy Ronnie said he's a Kings fan. Oh, man. Yeah, man, that's tragic. How you feel about the... Nah, this ain't no Kings. Stream. I ain't gonna ask. Maybe I'll ask you about the Kings later in the stream a little bit at the end. But yeah, man. Key said Wolves can be beaten. Just gotta play better as a team. Everyone gotta step up. Draymond needs to come with as aggressive and be a leader. I agree. I think the Warriors can definitely win one of these next two games. Just if you're an elite defense. Even if the other team has more talent, if you're an elite defense, you always got a chance to win a game. You might not be favored, but you got a chance. So they got an elite defense, and they got Jimmy Butler. Hopefully that's the formula to at least at the minimum get a split these next two games. I think they could do it. So I'm not losing confidence. I still think the Warriors are going to win this series. A lot of that comes down to whether Steph comes back for game 5, 6, or 7, whatever the case may be. If I had to put my money down on it, I would say Steph probably comes back game 6. So the Warriors are just gonna have to hold on until then. It's only one day of rest in between games all the way until game 6. So game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5, all of them is every other day. And the Warriors, dating back to last series, was playing every other day from game 3 on or game 4. So from game 4 on of last series, leading into this series, going all the way to game 6, they've been playing every other day. What kind of schedule is that? That's you just can't help but laugh, man. You just can't help but laugh. That's crazy. Every other day for like multiple weeks. That's crazy, man. Like that's Adam Silver's, man. That's the product you want to put out there. The Warriors are probably the most popular team in the league, either the Warriors or the Lakers. Steph's your biggest cash cow easily, biggest star in the league. That's the schedule you got. That's the best you could do. Every other day for 10 straight games. That's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's honestly no wonder Steph had a soft tissue injury and pulled his hamstring. Like, for those of y'all that work out or whatever, you know how you go to the gym, you get a workout in, or even you play like some pickup hoop at a rec for a few hours, and you really got it in, you got after it, got a good workout in, and then the next day you're sore. You just like, whew, you feel it. Imagine playing an intense playoff game. Like, you're just going at it. You're going up against dudes that's trying to feed their family, Jobs are on the line, careers are on the line. It's a lot on the line. Big dudes. It's a lot of physicality, a lot of banging, a lot of dirty plays. Dudes trying to injure you, as we seen last round. It's just a lot going on, a lot of physicality. And then you only get one off day to recoup your body and recover, and then you're back at it. That also includes like flying back and forth from city to city, going from Golden State to Houston to Minnesota, all the flying after games. That's all. It's still only with one off day of rest. It's crazy, man. It's ridiculous. What y'all talking about in here, man? Start a lineup for Game 3. Pods, Jimmy, J.K., Drake, TJD. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about. Let's talk about TJD. Yo, I got a fan from Dubai. I see you, bro. I appreciate you. What's up, watching from Dubai? Nice channel, bro. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. What time is it in Dubai right now? But yeah, let's talk about TJD. So TJD in the first half had 7 points, 4 rebounds. He was 3 for 3 from the field. And he finished the game with 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 for 6 from the field, 1 steal, and 1 block. So TJD looked good. He looked amazing. He was ready for the moment. He was absolutely locked in. He gave the Warriors what they needed in terms of pop at the rim, athleticism. He caught one oop that was like a one-hand alley-oop. I think he dunked it. A one-hand oop dunk. Draymond threw a way up. TJD went up and got it with the left hand, flushed it down, and all in one motion. It was nice. Nobody else in the Warriors can make that play. So the Warriors are gonna need TJD. I like with Looney. I definitely think Looney's needed because of just helping with boxing out Rudy. But if TJD could survive and hold it down in terms of like the boards, then you gotta play TJD because the Warriors need that extra pop offensively. They can't not have Steph, and then you're playing Looney. So I think we're probably gonna need Looney at some point in some pockets of the series, but this is probably a series for TJD. It's Draymond, Post, TJD. That's your center rotation right there. You need Post for his shooting without Steph, plus to provide a size. You need TJD for his athleticism, his pop at the rim, and a little bit of that mobility. So yeah, TJD and Kuminga both played great. The Warriors desperately needed that. They desperately needed their athletes to be play finishers and just really just help support Jimmy as play finishers. We can't just have Jimmy just isoing and posting up, just trying to like play bully ball and get fouled the entire game. Like you're not gonna win games with just Jimmy doing that the whole game, and he probably can't do that because of his injury. So you need your athletes. You need your other guys to have some capability to finish plays, to chip in. So that's what Kuminga did. That's what TJD did. And I believe after the game, Steve Kerr said, let me get the quote for y'all. Kerr said, JK and TJD, those guys really perform well and show what they can do to help us. So they're going to be a part of it for sure. So according to Steve Kerr, it looks like JK and TJD are in line for more minutes going forward, bigger roles, which I think is a good call. Now, obviously, we all know Steve. Sometimes he says stuff in a post game. He hypes a guy up and says, oh, yeah, this guy was great. And he says he needs to play him more. He regrets playing him more. And then the next game comes and he don't play him still. So take that for what it is at face value. But Kerr definitely sounded like he was pleased with TJD and Kuminga's performances. And he thinks they should play more. So that's a good call. As for TJD starting, I think it's worth a try. Quinton Post didn't have a great start to the game, but I also think Quinton Post will play better at home as well. Like if you keep the starting lineup and you just try it at home and give Quinton Post is going to feel a lot more comfortable. He's gonna be a lot more confident. You know when Quentin Post is playing at home and he's feeding off that crowd, he's like doing his goofy celebrations and he's like into it. He doesn't really do that on the road all like that. I mean he's a rookie. He's probably definitely feeling like the rookie jitters during this playoff run. Obviously his 3-point percentage hasn't been great in the playoffs, but he's still a threat. Teams aren't gonna just dare him to shoot. So, but I'm definitely open to seeing TJD in the starting lineup next to Draymond. Just TJD. Well, that's the thing. If you start TJD, you can't start Kuminga too. You can't go TJD, Draymond, Kuminga, Jimmy Butler. You can't do that. So it either has to be Kuminga or TJD starting. I would probably start Kuminga so that he can be that matchup on Ant, and then have TJD be like one of the first subs off the bench and have him play just a huge role off the bench. So that's how I would play it. Moody is near Wiseman level. I wouldn't go that far. Obviously, Moody's had a rough playoff run, but Wiseman was literally like, I'm not trying to bash on Wiseman because he's not on the team anymore, and the kid's out with an Achilles injury, so it's just, I don't even want to talk bad on him, but I'm just speaking on his experience with the Warriors, and I'm just calling it what it is. It is what it is, man. Like he's not a good player. He wasn't a good player. I know a lot of Warriors fans were holding out hope. Well, if you just give him more minutes, he'll do this and do that. I'm like, no, he ain't got it. He ain't got it. He got the size. You know, he can score a little bit, but he didn't have it. Overall, as an NBA player, it wasn't, you know. But I'm gonna leave it at that with Wiseman. With Moody, I just think it's something mental. Like Wiseman didn't have it. He just didn't have the feel. I think with Moody, he's shown that he has feel. Like he's played good in the playoffs before. He's had in the Mavericks series, he played good. You know, he was doing his thing. Is this T-Wolves team that much more talented than that Mavs team that the Warriors played back in, what was it, 2022? Yeah. I don't think this T-Wolves team is more talented than that Mavericks team. That Mavericks team is probably a better team, and Moody played well. I just think it's some little mental thing he's going through right now. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it just looks like he's off. So let's just hope he could turn it around. And if not, you on the bench, and those are past Spencer's minutes. If you're getting benched for a G League player, that's a disaster for the Warriors. That's a disaster. But you gotta do what you gotta do to win games. And Pat Spencer has been a better option than Moody in the playoffs. Dame might come for the vet minimum when his contract expires, but he's not impactful. His career is done. Yeah, I wouldn't bet on that. Dame ain't playing for no vets minimum. Yeah, man. I think Dame will retire before he just takes a vets minimum to just be like a guy. You know, even if Dame's career is never the same from here on out. I mean, he had a hell of a career, man. Hell of a career. If it wasn't for Steph, if Steph Curry didn't exist, he'd be in a conversation for one of the best shooters of all time from the point guard position. You know, so he's I think he would. He comes back at 37. Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, maybe he just to play for his home team, where he's from, for like a year or two before he retires. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. So we'll see. But yeah, let's see. We got Jimmy needs to get more aggressive. He keeps talking about get everybody else involved, but they ain't been doing nothing. Yeah, Jimmy definitely needs to play more aggressively, for sure. I also think it's just a lot for him to just take. What was he taking in some of those other earlier games, like 25 shots when the team needed him? I don't think he can get up 25 shots, to be honest with you. After the injury, I just don't think he can get up 25 shots plus the 10 plus free throw attempts, which is like another 5, 6, 7 shots. So I just think it's a lot to ask, because you got to think with the pelvic contusion, his movements are hampered. Everything he does, every movement he does, any type of contact, he probably feels that. And I mean, yeah, it's a matter of just playing through pain and whatnot, but his play style almost requires absorbing contact. Like unless he's just shooting a midi over the defender's contest, his play style requires contact. I think that's one of the reasons why he's taking more threes now. Like he's taking like what 4 a game, sometimes 5 now. He's trying to contribute in ways without the added physicality. He's trying to, he doesn't like shooting threes, but he's taking them because he just wants to try to chip in offensively without taking the contact. So yeah. What's up, Lucky? What's good, bro? Lucky Jelly, I see you, brother. But yeah, man. So Ant got injured, rolled his ankle. It looked pretty bad the way he was like limping off the court to the locker room. I did think it was going to be a high ankle sprain just the way he landed. It looked like it was like an inverted ankle twist, which is like always worse. The inverted ankle twist, you're looking at like a high ankle sprain situation. But Ant did end up coming back to start the second half. He's a tank. Ant's a tank, bro. Like that kid gets hurt. Remember when LeBron rolled down on his leg in that Lakers game, in that Lakers series? I was like, ooh, that don't look good. And then he hopped back up. By the way, that was very slick by LeBron. That looked a little intentional to me. Like he was already falling, but he saw Ant. He was like, a little roll, a little. But his plan failed because Ant is just built out of metal or something. Wolverine. He just got up, shook it off. This game, for anybody else, that's probably a high ankle sprain. You're probably out at least the rest of the game, probably the next few, and just shook it off. Jumped around at the halftime, got ready, got loose, and he was ready to go. So, shout out to him. Never want to see nobody get hurt. So Kerr went deep into his bench tonight. He actually played 14 guys in the first half. He played everybody. He played Gee. He played Braxton Key. He played Kevin Knox. He played Pat Spence, obviously. TJD, Looney, GB2, Kuminga. He played everybody. And on the outside, you might initially think, like, why is this dude playing literally the entire team in a playoff game? He did have his reasoning. Kerr said he didn't want to push Jimmy and Draymond's minutes unless the game was gettable. He said this game was about finding what pieces fit around Jimmy. So I think Kerr knew that winning tonight was a tall task. It's like, obviously you want to win the game. You're going to try to win the game. But the moment the other team is like up 20 points, you don't necessarily have the firepower to close that gap on the road. So he was like, look, let's use this game to find combinations and get data, get film for our coaches to break down, see what matchups look good, see what matchups worked against the Minnesota lineups, and just get data for next game. Like, let's use this time, even though we're down, and we're probably not going to win more than likely. Let's use this time to find some matchups. And so that's what they did. They played 14 guys in the first half. Everybody got a look. I think it's good that they did that because TJD showed something. Kuminga showed with extended run what he could do. Guy Santos played limited minutes, but he looked solid. So yeah, like the Warriors, they have depth. It's just a matter of a lot of these dudes are from the G League pipeline. A lot of these guys are fringe guys, and they can play when they're out there with 2 stars. Like if you plug in Kevin Knox, but you got Jimmy Butler and Steph on the court, he might be able to give you like some spot minutes. Let's say Moody's stinking it up, and you're like, yo, we need another body. We need another look at that position. All right, you can take out Moody. If you're not bringing in Pat Spence, maybe bring in Kevin Knox. See if he can give you something. See if he can hit a shot. See if he could bring something defensively. 6'9" wing, inconsistent shooter, but he has some tools to do something. He's been in your system all season with Santa Cruz. He knows how y'all play. He has length. You put him out there in specific lineup combinations that work, he might be able to show you something. You got Guy Santos. You know what Guy Santos brings. I think no matter what lineup you got Guy Santos out there with, he's gonna give you the same thing. He's gonna give you hustle. He's gonna give you hard rebounding, some length defensively. So I don't blame Kerr for playing as many guys as he wanted. He wasn't trying to crash out with the minute load in a game that they more than likely wasn't gonna win, especially if they couldn't like close a gap. Like if you're down 20, all right, keep them in there, see if you can close a gap. But if you just can't get over that hump, I believe the closest they got in the second half was 7 points. If you can't close the gap, man, see what else you got. By the way, if y'all enjoying the video, man, if y'all enjoying the content, like the video right now, man. It's much appreciated, man. Thanks for y'all pulling up on me, bro. HT, what's up, bro? Jimmy is a 2-3. Kuminga is a 3-4. Draymond's a 4-5. I would love to see a true 5 behind Dre this offseason. We have to upgrade the talent pool on the roster, just not reliable system role players. Yeah, I mean, the Warriors, the roster is incomplete. The Warriors traded 4 players. The Warriors traded out 4 players to obtain Kuminga. I'm sorry. They traded out 4 players to obtain Jimmy Butler. And they didn't make a second trade to kind of clean up the roster and add another piece that could better make the rest of the roster fit. They traded out 4 guys. They got Kuminga. They got traded out 4 guys, and they got Jimmy. And then they basically just promoted like some G League dudes. They didn't make a second trade for like another shooter to better optimize a potential Jimmy, Kuminga, Draymond lineup. So they just didn't have enough time to make another trade. Like they could have technically made another trade at the trade deadline. They got Jimmy. They had time. They was looking at some stuff. I think they were looking at some stuff with Vucevic. They was looking at some other stuff, but nothing materialized. Nothing was quite, the right deal in terms of like what they had to give up. So they were like, you know what? Let's just rock with this. They got half the season. Let's see how far they can go. Let's see what they could do. And we'll reevaluate in the offseason and after this, and we'll have more time after this evaluation period to add necessary pieces that fit better in the offseason. So this roster is pretty solid, but it's an incomplete roster. So it's obviously gonna not be fully optimized, especially when Steph is not playing. The roster is built around Steph initially. So without Steph, you're never gonna find perfect combinations that fit. So it's just not gonna happen. But I agree with the fact that they definitely got to get in some more talent. They definitely do. They need one more shot creator on the perimeter, and they need a big man that has some type of offensive talent. They need a big man. Can y'all imagine Naz Reid on the Warriors? Could y'all imagine Naz Reid on the Warriors, man? Next to Draymond and Jimmy in the front court. 6'10" shooter, athletic. He can attack closeouts, get to the rim. Man, Naz Reid would be nice. Naz Reid would be nice. Not even gonna lie to you. I wish we could if it was possible. Let's just say the T-Wolves was tripping off their payroll and they had to come off some money or something like that. And then would y'all do Moody, a first round pick, and something else? Obviously they're gonna say no. They ain't accepting that trade. But I'm just living in fantasy land right now. Moody, a first round pick, and like another asset for Naz Reid. Send him, Brent. Send that trade, bro. Do it in a heartbeat. It is what it is. Bobby Portis. Ghost said, what about Bobby Portis in the offseason? I like Bobby Portis. If they can get Bobby Portis, that'd be solid. I think he'll be a good. I don't think he's necessarily like a Steve Kerr type of big in terms of running the offense, running the system. Bobby Portis is more of, you pass me the ball, I'm throwing it up. You throw it to me in the post, I'm getting it up. If you throw it to me on the three-point line, I'm shooting it. If you throw it to me in the paint, I'm going up with it. He's not gonna kick out. He's not gonna make the extra pass. He ain't doing none of that. He's a play finisher. And that's pretty much what he is, man. With Bobby Portis, if you want to think about a comp, it'll be what David West was for the Warriors, minus the passing and an added three-point shot. So his extend David West's shooting range from mid range out to the 3 point line and take away the passing. That's basically Bobby Portis. So I think he'd be useful. I mean, another big that can shoot is always useful. You put Bobby Portis out there in lineups next to Draymond, Jimmy, other lineups with Kuminga. I think that could work. So one thing Bobby Portis is not a good defender. So that's one thing you got to kind of look out for. But he can hold his own on the rebounds. He's not a great offensive rebounder, but he's a good defensive rebounder. He's another goon, another dog, another dude that can just get out there and do some dirty work, grab some boards. And he's 6'10", so he's a big body out there. What y'all talking about? Jimmy requires a true pick and roll 5, so I can expect us to definitely go that route. A true stretch 4-5 that can defend. John Collins, Trey Lyles, for example. John Collins is getting paid $25 million a year, so I don't even think that's realistic. You would have to give up too many pieces that you want to keep in order to obtain John Collins. I ain't paying John Collins $25 million a year to catch lobs and hit some threes, bro. He ain't that guy. But he would be a useful player. It's just if only he was on a cheaper contract. But if he was on a cheaper contract, he'd be a hotter commodity, and the Warriors probably wouldn't be able to trade for him. They would be able to trade for him because his contract's lower, but it would be other teams interested as well. Because John Collins is a pretty good player, but he's just overpaid right now. And the Warriors sending out $25 million salary means a lot of their role players are gone. That I'd rather just keep the guys we have and go after somebody that's cheaper. Jonas is only a $10 million a year player. Jonas is only $10 million a year. Only $3 more million than Looney. Looney is nowhere close to Jonas with his. Nah. I honestly would rather have Looney over Jonas, to be honest with you. Jonas is okay, but Jonas would get played off of a court in a playoff series or way faster than Looney. Like Looney gets played off the court because he's slow and whatnot, but Jonas is slow and he's not a good defender. The only thing he really brings to the table is the rebounding, and then if you get him in a post against like a mismatch, I guess he can like attack the mismatch. But defensively, he's barbecue chicken. He's a straight drop big. You can't do nothing else with him defensively in any defensive scheme. He's a drop big. He will never come up on screens. So you got to protect him defensively. Mobility-wise, on a backline rotations, he's not getting there to help contest. He's just not that great of a player. How you feel about Melton coming back? I would love Melton to come back. DeAnthony Melton would be one of the first dudes I pick up. I call in the offseason to get him back. It didn't work out with the injury, but that's literally because, he got injured. Before he got injured, he looked great with the team. He looked great in the starting lineup. He was perfect for what we needed. Point of attack guard, can dribble, pass, shoot, could fit into our system perfectly, could play next to Steph. He was a great fit. He was perfect. So it's unfortunate that they traded him, but I think he would. I can't put my mind into another man's head and say what I think he would feel about a certain situation. At the end of the day, they traded him. They traded him away, and he might take it as, hey, look, y'all traded me, F y'all. Like, I don't mess with y'all. Like, you'll never see me in a Warriors uniform. Like, y'all messed up. Or he might just be like, look, it is what it is. They're a championship team in terms of, like, they got a championship organization. They're always trying to improve. I was out for the season anyways, and I was a free agent after the season anyway, so there was no long-term commitment on either sides. I only played 3 games. Was it 3 games or 6 games? It is what it is. Like, I was going to have to rehab anyways. It is what it is. And maybe he'd be open to coming back and running it back at a discount. But I don't know. You can't tell. Only Milton will know how he's going to feel about the Warriors calling off season, whether he entertain it or not. What I do know is that's a season-ending injury. That's an ACL tear. And before that, he was coming off a back injury where he missed significant time with the Sixers. So that's 2 straight seasons where he's injury prone. He's not going to command the same amount of money as he did when the Warriors signed him for $12 million. So can they get him for the vest minimum? I don't know. We'll see what his market decides. But trying to get DeAnthony Melton for the vest minimum for the Warriors is like should be one of their top priorities. Because that would be just such because their pitch would be like, look, you take this vest minimum, you rebuild your value, you can get out there next year and get the contract you want. Same thing Dante DiVincenzo did when he signed with the Warriors. He was playing with the Kings. We all know the Kings are buns. Sorry to my Kings fan in here. I had to. But the Kings are buns. It was a terrible situation for him, as it is for every player. His value got tanked. He looked around the league. It was other opportunities to take more money than what the Warriors gave him. But he said, you know what? I'm going to take the $4.5 million. I'm going to go to the Warriors because I know my return on investment is going to pay off in the long run. I'm going to go in a system that fits me, that works for me. I'm going to be playing next to Steph Curry, one of the most unselfish superstars ever, the most unselfish, a guy that commands the most amount of attention defensively. I'm going to play off of that. I'm going to be a beneficiary. And I'm going to rebuild my value. And I'm going to cash out next season with another team. That's what DiVincenzo did. That's honestly good for the Warriors because they can use that as a pitch. Like, look, this is what Dante did. This is what Dante did. It worked out for him. It could work out for you. So come back, rebuild your value, compete for a starting spot, and we'll see what happens. Bro said, I meant Jonas, not Giannis. Yeah, I mean, I know what you meant. I was talking about Jonas. I probably said Giannis. I was my description of like the situation definitely wasn't describing Giannis, saying he's a lick defensively and all that other stuff. I know what you meant, bro. I probably mispronounced it. Herb Jones plus Kelly Olynyk. Herb Jones would be a great scenario, a great outcome, but the Pelicans aren't trading him. They've had opportunities to trade him. They don't entertain it. I think he signed on a bargain deal too. He's only getting paid like $15 million or something like that. So Herb Jones would be amazing, but it would cost. He's not even available. It's not even a matter of the Warriors can just trade like some picks for him. It's like no, he's not even available, or else a team would have traded for him. Like if Herb Jones was on the market, a team like OKC would have like who has $1 million first round picks, they would have already made the trade for him. If it was simple as all right, we'll send you 2 first round picks, give us Herb Jones. Herb Jones would have been traded by now. The Pelicans ain't trying to trade him. He's a good player. I don't see that happening. Kelly Olynyk is all right, but honestly, I'd rather just play Quinton Post. But for depth, I guess. I've been on a Kelly Olynyk train for a few years, but now that we got Quinton Post, I just feel like Quinton Post is at this point, he's a younger, better version for what we need because he has more size. I think Quinton Post is actually a better defender than Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk's about 6'10". He runs about 6'10", 225. Quinton Post is 7 feet, 240, and he's getting better. He got better over the course of the season, the regular season. He got better in season, which means he's great at adapting. He's great at learning on the fly. He's a quick learner. Kelly Olynyk is a vet that's been in the league for 12 years. He is what he is. He's in his early mid-30s. He's not going to improve defensively. He is what he is. He's a finished product. He might actually be getting worse from this point on. While Quinton Post is getting better, I'd rather just play Quinton Post and use that necessary required salary, matching salary that you would have to use to bring in Kelly Olynyk for 13. He's making 13 mil. I would rather use those resources to bring in somebody else that does something differently. Let's see what we got. I think we need role players similar to Bridges, Anunoby, but not their price range. Big rangy wings have a lot of upside. I mean, those players get near max contracts, man. The Warriors just simply can't afford that. You're paying Steph 60 mil. I mean, yeah, you're paying Steph 60 mil a year. You're paying Jimmy Butler like 50 mil a year. You're paying Draymond 25 mil a year. It's just not enough money to add a two-way wing like OG Anunoby or like a Mikal Bridges. It's basically impossible with the new aprons and all this stuff the league did to try to dismantle the Warriors. But yeah, the Warriors are just 2 to 3 pieces away. Yeah, man. I mean, the Warriors are one off season away of just perfect fitting moves from just being like ridiculous. Think about the 2022 season. The Warriors signed Naminha Bielisa, vest minimum. Otto Porter, vest minimum. Uh, GP2, GP2 won the job over Avery Bradley, got the vest minimum. Those three moves. Was that the year we got GP2? Regardless, those three moves, when they first initially happened, everybody was just like, was that the year we got GP2 or was it a little earlier than that? I'm honestly can't remember right now. Um, uh, Anyways, but yeah, so that offseason, you had just these seemingly insignificant moves. I actually think the Warriors were getting roasted, by the way. The Warriors were getting roasted for their offseason. People were like, y'all signed washed Otto Porter. Y'all signed washed Nehemiah Bielisa. He's a bum. GB2's a G League player. They was talking crazy, man. It was roasting the Warriors. I remember this perfectly. The Warriors were strapped for cash. They didn't have the resources to just sign players. So they had to go bargain shopping. They had to like really find like little perfect fits for their bargain and just fill in on the margins. And those small marginal pickups transformed them into a championship team. And they won a championship with perfect role players. Otto Porter Jr. was a perfect role player. Very unique player, a player with an archetype that's very hard to find. He was a 6'8" wing. That's a good shooter, smart, doesn't make mistakes offensively, good defender, good rebounder. Like just a perfect role player. The Mihan Bielisa was a stretch five that could play make, fits the Warriors system perfectly. And then obviously we know what GP2 could do. So the Warriors have a chance here to do something similar. Hopefully teams around the league, like free agents and role players, are taking note of this Warriors roster and looking at them in the playoffs and just thinking, I could probably fit in and play a role there. Like I can have an opportunity to make some money, build my value. So let's just hope, man. Let's just hope. I think signing Melton for the vest minimum could definitely have the upside to be a 2022 type sneaky good move. What we talking about here, man? We need Wiggins back. Would y'all sign and trade Kuminga to get Wiggins back? Let me get a yes or no in the chat. Let me see something. Do you have any vet minimum guys, backup point guard, wings, or bigs in mind? I honestly haven't looked at the free agent pool at all. So I don't even know who's a free agent. I haven't even gotten to that part of the offseason yet. So I'll probably make some content on that once the Warriors season's over. Hopefully it's over with a championship. But we'll see. In terms of players I'm eyeballing, I'm not sure yet, brother. So we'll see about that in the offseason. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling up, bro. 65550 Parkland, I see you, bro. Esoterra, I see you. Thanks for showing up. Mr. Level, what's up, bro? I see y'all. Do you think we could trade pods and picks for Jalen Williams? Brother, that's a hell no. Why would OKC trade their second all-star, their all-star player that's like 22 years old? This doesn't make any sense, bro. The Warriors can literally offer Jalen Williams everything, and they'll say no. The OKC, they don't need the Warriors picks. They already have the most amount of first round picks going forward of any team in the league. They don't want picks. They want to be a contender. They want to be a contender with their young team. They want to grow their young team. And the fact that Jalen Williams is on that rookie contract makes him even more valuable to the Thunder, because that means they don't got to worry about the payroll stuff and the salary stuff for another few years. You're not gonna find an all-star caliber player like Jalen Williams giving you what he's giving you on that contract, on a rookie contract. It's literally, you just not gonna. He's literally just no one else you're gonna get that for. And if there is someone, they're not available either. There's just no scenario where OKC is trading Jalen Williams for anybody besides Giannis or Jokic or somebody like that, Tatum. They're just not trading him. They just won 68 games this year. They had a historic season, and Jalen Williams is their second best player. It's not happening. Don't rule out LeBron. I'm sure as hell hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's time for LeBron to call it quits, bro. That LeBron stuff, I think if that was gonna happen, it would have happened before. It would have happened like last season or something. But now the Warriors got Jimmy Butler. I mean, I'm not saying Jimmy Butler and LeBron's the same player, but they have a similar enough play style as an offensive hub with the ball in their hands that it doesn't make any sense to add LeBron when you got Jimmy now. It just doesn't make any sense. Yo, y'all be cool in the comments, man. He was just asking a question, bro. Let's be easy, man. We a community, bro. But yeah, man, we just passed the 1 minute mark. I'm probably gonna call it here. Game 3 is Saturday, so we gonna see what's up, man. Hopefully the Warriors pull out the dub. Rip Cougar, I see you, bro. Appreciate you for pulling up, man. I'm actually about to end it, but I appreciate you, and I appreciate the rest of y'all for showing love, man. Thank y'all. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace, man.